Hello, this is Kim Kraszewski, and I will be talking about case number 4. I will be understanding Daniel C., no last name, his case with his symptoms, causes, and treatments. The introduction. Daniel is a 36-year-old man who works as an accountant. He's always been very organized and careful with his work, which helped him do well in school and at his job. But lately, he has the need for everything to be perfect, and it has gotten extremely out of control. At work, he spends way too much time fixing the small details and misses important deadlines. At home, he gets upset when the things that he wants to do done correctly aren't done correctly. This includes like how the books on the shelves are organized or how the laundry is folded. This tends to lead to a lot of arguments with his partner. Daniel feels stressed and alone. Even though his habits are a problem, he's scared to stop doing these things. In this report, we'll look at what Daniel might be dealing with, what are the possible causes of it, and how he can get the help that he needs to stop these problems. Let's talk about the possible diagnosis. Daniel might have something called obsessive compulsive personality disorder, or known as OCPD. This means he wants everything to be perfect and in control all the time. People with OCPD are super focused on rules, order, and getting things exactly right. They have a hard time relaxing, letting other people be in control, or being okay when things are not correct, such as mistakes. Some other disorders might sound familiar, like OCD, or generalized anxiety disorder, which is GAD. But Daniel doesn't have random thoughts that scare him like people do with OCD, and he isn't worrying about everything all the time like people with GAD have. Instead, he just really believes things need to be done in a certain way, even if it causes a certain problem. That's why I think OCPD fits best for his diagnosis. Let's talk about the 4 Ds of mental health. First, deviance. Deviance is the reason, or how deviance relates to Daniel's case, is that Daniel's behavior is different from what most people do. Wanting things neat is normal for most human beings in our world, but getting mad when, like, for example, towels aren't folded correctly, or spending hours fixing or critiquing little mistakes is much more extreme than it should be. Distress. Daniel feels very upset and overwhelmed. The thing is, he knows his habits are causing problems, and this tends to make him not feel happy. Dysfunction, the 3rd D. His actions are making it very hard for him to do well at his work and have a healthy relationship with his partner. This causes him to miss a lot of deadlines and causes a lot of unwanted fights with his partner. The 4th D of mental health is danger. The thing with Daniel is he isn't hurting himself or others. But if this keeps going and keeps continuing in the wrong trend, he could potentially lose his job, which everybody basically needs a job, or lose his relationship with his partner, and he probably doesn't want to lose either of those things. The best ways to help Daniel. Number 1, I think, is cognitive behavioral therapy. This is a kind of therapy where Daniel would have access to work with a therapist to change the ways that he is thinking. A person or a therapist with this would teach him that it is okay to make small mistakes and that it is okay for not everything to be perfect. The second way that I think Daniel could be helped is schema therapy. This therapy helps people understand where their bad habits are coming from. The reason I think that Daniel has these habits is because he grew up with very strict parents, and this could explain why he wants everything to be perfect for him all the time. Another way that he can improve his relationship with his partner, for this case, is couples therapy. A therapist can help Daniel and his partner talk about the problems in a healthy way and find ways that it both molds their ways of life to work together at home. The fourth way that I came up with is medication. Daniel is feeling very anxious or depressed, or if he is feeling those things, a doctor could give him medicine to help him relax and make him feel a lot better. The medication works very well with with the therapies I mentioned above, such as cognitive behavioral therapy and couples therapy. If he mixed medication, couples therapy, and all three of those, I bet you he would be a lot more. Those problems that he's experiencing would come down a lot. The last thing is that he needs learning about the disorder. If Daniel and his partner and people that are surrounded by Daniel on a daily basis learn more about OCPD, everybody will know what is going on with Daniel and know how to handle it better and how to go about approaching him. Conclusion. Daniel is probably dealing with obsessive compulsive personality disorder. He wants everything to be perfect and under control, but this is hurting his work/job and his relationship that he is trying to build with his partner. His habits match the 4 Ds. They're unusual, they are very stressful, and getting in the way of his life. Daniel's strict upbringing by his parents has a huge way in the way he acts. Therapy, support, and medicine can help Daniel learn to be more flexible, less stressed, and happier at work and at home, so he can get going on a better track in his life. Thank you.